slapping them with a $500,000 fine as a franchise. To a common folk, yes, that's a lot of money, but to them that makes billions of dollars every season, that's like pocket change to them. So they don't, that's like us giving away $20. So, but anyway, guys, they came out with the spring training calendar and how the dates for all 30 teams. The first spring training game in 2020 will be played at February 21st between the Kansas City Royals and Texas Rangers at Surprise Stadium in Surprise, Arizona, to begin the Cactus League schedule. The Great Boot League opens the next day with 8 games. So again, we're right around the corner, just a couple months away from spring training. Some of these dates have been announced, guys. Not all of them have been announced yet. Grapefruit League-wise, that's in Florida. The Atlanta Braves pitchers and catchers will report February 12th. The full squad workout will be on February 18th. The Baltimore Orioles report February 11th. Their full team workout will start on the 17th. The Boston Red Sox also report the same day on the 11th. They also start on the 17th for full team workouts. The Tigers and Astros are to be announced on both categories. The Miami Marlins report Wednesday, February 12th, and they start there on the 17th. The Twins report the 11th and also begin their full team workout on the 17th. The Mets, Pirates, Cardinals, Rays, Jays, and Nationals have yet to announce. The Yankees begin on the 11th and the 17th, and the Phillies the same thing, 11th and 17th. The Cactus League, that's out in Arizona, guys. Again, a lot of these dates have not been announced yet. The Diamondbacks, Cubs, White Sox, Indians, Rockies, Royals, Angels, Dodgers, Athletics, Giants, Mariners have not announced their times yet. The only 3 teams that have, the Reds on the 14th, which is Valentine's Day. They'll have a full team workout the 18th. The Brewers on the 12th. They start on the 17th. For their sport teams, the Padres on the 10th, and they start on the 15th. And then on February 12th and the 18th for the Seattle Mariners. If you do not know where your teams are going to be, here are all of the venues for each MLB team, both in Grapefruit and the Cactus League. The Atlanta Braves will be in Northport. They'll be playing at Cool Today Park. The Baltimore Orioles playing in Sarasota at Ed Smith Stadium. The Boston Red Sox playing in Fort Myers at JetBlue Park at Fenway South. The Detroit Tigers playing in Lakeland at Joker Merchant Stadium. The Florida Marlins playing in Jupiter at Roger Dean Chevrolet Stadium. The Houston Astros playing in West Palm Beach at 15 Ballpark of the Palm Beaches. The Minnesota Twins also play in Fort Myers at Hammond Stadium. The New York Mets play at Port St. Lucie at First Data Field. The New York Yankees playing in Tampa at George M. Steinbrenner Field, or Legends Field. The Philadelphia Phillies playing Clearwater at Spectrum Field. The Pittsburgh Pirates playing Bradenton at Econ Park. The St. Louis Cardinals playing Jupiter at Roger Dean Stadium. Tampa Bay Rays playing Port Charlotte at Charlotte Sports Park. Toronto Blue Jays playing in Dunedin at Dunedin Stadium. The Washington Nationals playing West Palm Beach at the ballpark at the Palm Beach. Hang on just a second, guys. And then as far as the Cactus League goes, you have the Arizona Diamondbacks in Scottsdale. They play at Salt Rivers Field at Talking Stick. Chicago Cubs playing in Mesa at Sloan Park. The White Sox playing in Glendale at Camelback Ranch. Cincinnati Reds playing in Goodyear. So do the Indians at Goodyear Park. The Colorado Rockies also play at the River Fields at Talking Stick. The Royals playing in Surprise at Surprise Stadium. The Angels playing in Tempe at Tempe DeLabo Stadium. The Dodgers playing in Glendale at Camelback Ranch. The Milwaukee Brewers playing in Phoenix at Maryville Baseball Park. The Oakland A's playing in Mesa at Ho-Ho-Com Stadium. The Padres playing in Peoria Sports Complex. San Francisco Giants playing in Scottsdale at Scottsdale Stadium. The Mariners share the same complex with the Padres, and the Texas Rangers share the same stadium as the Kansas City Royals. So, guys, that's kind of a little bit of a spring update. so far for the MLB. Again, we will have more coming out as we get closer. Once anything is announced, guys, as far as the punishment for the Astros or whatever might be coming of that, I will let you know on this show because that's definitely going to be something that I will cover. But the thing is, we'll have to wait and see what the punishment is for that. I'm going to go ahead, guys, and like I said, I'm going to try to go all the way till 9 o'clock. That way I can take some phone calls for an hour and then get back to my kind of cool stories at the end of my show. The next one, guys, is about college basketball. Of course, guys, we're in the early stages of college basketball. We still got 3 months before March Madness, which, again, as we get closer to March Madness, then we'll talk about college basketball getting more exciting. This is not really a good story. This is by Joe Rivera. 3 Georgetown basketball players accused of harassment, assault, and burglary. Jeez, I can't even pronounce that right. Burglary. Restraining orders have been filed against 3 Georgetown basketball players, according to USA Today. 1 player has been accused of sexual assault and harassment, and 3 players involved have been accused of burglary. Another Georgetown student made the accusations against freshman forward Myron Gardner, sophomore forward Joshua Blanc, and junior forward Galen Alexander, and a restraining order were filed on November 12th. The defendant claims in the criminal complaint that Gardner sexually assaulted and harassed the defendant in their apartment on September 15th. The complaint also says that all 3 players burglarized the apartment on September 16th. A roommate of the defendant previously filed for a restraining order against LeBlanc and Alexander on November 5th. The players were also being investigated by D.C. Metro Police within the last month. Georgetown does not take student conduct issues very seriously and ensures that they will do an investigation thoroughly on the topic. On Monday, Georgetown coach Patrick Ewing said in a statement that LeBlanc would not play for the Hoyas for the remainder of the season. The fate of the other 2 players has yet to be determined. So, again, that'll be up to head coach Patrick Ewing on that one. And going back, guys, to, if you remember, a Memphis player, James Wiseman, who got in trouble for taking money from his current head coach, Penny Hardaway. Here's a little bit of what is going on with that. This was written by Mike Ducottery of TSN. North Carolina fought the NCAA to establish that its bylaws did not cover the academic preparatory that existed for years in the university's African and African American Studies Department. Missouri cooperated with the NCAA investigation whether one of their academic tutors worked with football players and provided improper assistance to a dozen student athletes and wound up banned from participating in a bowl. And if you have not known, too, their head coach got fired. The message may have all college sports received by juxtaposing these 2 cases was simple. If you're facing an issue with the NCAA, it's better to battle. Participation was, in fact, overly simplistic. A lesson to the Memphis Tigers learned the most painful fashion Wednesday afternoon. And again, guys, coming down to this, we're talking about James Wiseman. He will serve a suspension of a dozen games, 9 games as prescribed by the dollar amount of the extra benefit he was deemed by the NCAA to have received from current Tigers head coach Penny Hardaway, plus 3 extra games as punishment for his appearance in the first 3 games of the season. Wiseman also has to make an $11,500 payment to charity to regain his eligibility, a requirement he can fulfill on an installment payment plan. One might think that alleged offense is being purged by the repayment assignment to Wiseman and the 12-game suspension, but that would be incorrect. It's something that happens a lot when attempting to follow the logic of NCAA, and that may have been what led to the arrogance apparent in Memphis' initial declarations of support for the suit Wiseman brought against the NCAA to gain injunction and his decision to play him in games against Illinois, Chicago, and Oregon. When Wiseman chose to drop the case against the NCAA a week ago, it seemed like some sort of rapprochement had been realized between the 2 sides. This is no big deal. This is like a player having a shot slapped back in his face. He will not be permitted to play absent a successful appeal until January 10th against the South Florida Bulls. He will miss games against Ole Miss, NC State, Tennessee, Georgia, and Wichita State. Had there been no suit and no injunction and no cheering from the Memphis suits, he at least would have been a Tiger in a Tigers uniform before Christmas and would have missed no African Athletic Conference games. You want to pick a fight with the NCAA? That sounds cool. You better come armed in case that can stick. Again, guys, that was the whole thing about Wiseman is you don't want to mess with the NCAA unless you have a solid case. I mean, that's just plain and simple. You got to have a solid case against them because obviously you could see what they did to Wiseman and company by suspending him for 12 games. So he's not eligible, guys, to come back until after the new year. And it's funny that first game back is an American Athletic Conference game here against the South Florida Bulls. So that should be interesting. But let's get into college football. And I'm going to go through some articles first here. And I'm also going to go ahead and take a look, guys, at the championship games that are coming up over the next few days. Let's see here. Got pull the calendar up here. Let's go ahead, guys. First, I'm going to touch upon, and I have all of them here in front of me. Excellent. Okay. These are grading all 27 of college football's first-year coaches. So, guys, this is all just what the teams in their first year, coaches that have been in their first year. 27 of the 130 teams at the top level of college football had new coaches in 2019. Some like Louisville Scott Satterfield and Ohio State's Ryan Day had awesome first seasons. Others like Houston's Dana Holmgren and Miami's Manny Diaz had debuts years at their schools that they would like to forget. Here are our grades on all 27 of the coaches who are in their roles for the first time in 2019. Let us start, guys, in the AAC. That's the American Athletic Conference. East Carolina's Mike Houston, 2018 record with Coach Scotty Montgomery. The team went 3-9. This year, they went 4-8. After a highly successful 3-year run at James Madison, Mike Houston started his ECU career 3-2, but the Pirates really struggled in AAC play, especially on defense. The Pirates were 6th in the conference in total offense, but lost 3 of their 4 in November, despite averaging 37.3 points per game. This was written by Nick Bloomberg and Sam Cooper. They gave Mr. Coach Houston a C. Houston's Dana Holmgren, 2018 record under a major Applewhite 8-5. 2019 record 4-8. Holmgren certainly looked an uncontroversial approach at Houston, the school with a president that famously said it fires coaches who go 8-4. UH opened the year 1-3 before Holmgren opted to redshirt many of his best players in an effort to have a big 2020. We'll see if that pays off. They gave him a D. Temple's Rod Carey, 2018 record under Jeff Collins, 8-5. 2019 record 8-4. Temple was in the mix for the AAC East title until the second to last week of the season. Rod Carey carried on a strong foundation built by Matt Rule and maintained by Jeff Collins, who should have the Owls in the upper tier of the division moving forward, as long as his staff keeps developing unheralded recruits and a capable AAC starters. They gave him a B+, guys, and the Lightning just tied the game 3-3. Now we're going to move, guys, to the ACC. First up is Jeff Collins, the former head coach at Temple. He's now at Georgia Tech. The 2018 record for the Yellow Jackets, 7-6 under Paul Johnson. This year, guys, 3-9. Yes, Georgia Tech won 4 fewer games in 2019 than they did a year ago, but a lot of regression was expected as Collins took over a team that was built for Johnson's triple option offense. The highlight of the season was a win over Miami, but back-to-back losses to the Citadel and Temple showed how much work Collins has to do at Tech. They gave him a C. Louisville Scott Satterfield under Bobby Petrino In 2018, Louisville went 2-10.